Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss about the another biomolecule which is lipids. As in the starting of the chapter, we have discussed regarding the elemental analysis. There too we have discussed when we have taken a leaf and we have grinded it with the help of a mortar and pestle in the presence of trichloroacetic acid, we have got a thick slurry or paste, and the paste or the slurry was passed through a cheesecloth or cotton cloth. So do we have observed that the part of the slurry which has passed through the cloth was called as filtrate, and whereas the part which has not passed through the cloth was found to be present above the cloth, it was called to be as retentate. So we can confer the conclusion obviously that the filtrate, it should must be a, can say, acid soluble fraction due to which it has passed through the cloth, and whereas in the case of retentate category it should must be an acid insoluble fraction. There do we have also discussed that in the case of filtrate category, bio micromolecules were present which were the monomers of the unit polymers. For example, different types of monosaccharides like glucose or other such monosaccharides, fructose, like that. So glycerols, fatty acids, amino acids, they were to be found within the category of filtrate. Whereas in the category of retentate, biomacromolecules were to be found which were the polymers of the unit monomers. So the polymers, they were like the polysaccharides or the proteins or the lipids. So there do we have also discussed regarding the lipids, that why the lipids, their molecular weight, they ranges in the category of biomicromolecules, means below 800 daltons, but although they are found to be present within the category of retentate. The reason do we have discussed the presence of the non-polar region, the tail region, which is the hydrophobic region, due to which it was found to be shown its present in the category of retentate. So whenever if the molecule is found to be in the category of retentate, obviously it would be considered to be as biomacromolecule. So as the lipids, they are generally water insoluble. They are not soluble in the water. They are soluble in the organic solvents. So lipids, they may be only fatty acids or glycerols only. Or if combination of fatty acids and glycerol do we make, then also they may be considered under the category of lipids. So we may say fatty acids, they may be also called as lipids. Only glycerol, they may be also called as lipids. Or when combined together fatty acids and glycerol, they would be also considered as lipids. Whereas whenever we talk about the fats and oils, they are the combinations of fatty acids and glycerols. So the lipids may be either only fatty acids or glycerols, or the combination of fatty acids and glycerol. But whenever we are talking about fats and oils, they are the combinations of fatty acids and glycerol. So as the name suggests, for the fatty acids, the fatty acid, it should must have an acidic group plus an R group. The acidic group, it would be the carboxyl group, COH group, plus the R group will have the carbon atoms ranging from 1 to 19 carbon atoms. And this R group may be either methyl group in the form of CH3 or ethyl C2H5, or we can say long, or we can say a higher number of CH2 groups. So for example, palmitic acid is having 16 carbon atoms, including the carboxyl carbon atom. So we can derive the structure. If it is having 16 carbon atoms and one included the carboxyl carbon atoms, so you have to subtract the one, that would give up 15. So we can make the structure CH3, CH2, COOH. So obviously one carbon atom we have placed it here, one here, two. So we have to make how many? 14. So that we may put it here 14. So the structure for the palmitic acid, it would be CH3 CH2 whole 14 COOH, or we can also say this as an functional group R1. So we can denote it R1 COOH. Here the R1 is of 15 carbon atoms, just like for the structure of another fatty acid, which is arachidonic acid, which is having 20 carbon atoms. So just we may understand means 20 carbon atoms it is having, including the carboxyl carbon atom. So we have to subtract 20 minus 1. That would be 19. 19 carbon atom chains would be there. So we may frame the structure CH3, CH2, COOH. And here how many carbons would be there? One I have provided here and one we have provided here. So 2, and here remaining 18. The 18 plus 2, it will make up 20. So this we can make another functional group as R2. So we may write the structure as R2COOH. So this is the structure for arachidonic acid. So let us revise once more this part. As palmitic acid, it is made up of 16 carbon atoms, including the carboxyl carbon atom also is included here. So obviously it is made up of 16 minus 1 means 15 carbon chains. So we have made it CH3 and CH2 whole 14. So 14 carbon atoms here and 1 carbon atom here. That would make up 15, and plus this carboxyl carbon atom 16 carbon atoms, it would make the structure for the palmitic fatty acid. Likewise, we have considered this group as R1 group, that is the structure for palmitic acid. Just like for the arachidonic acid, it is made up of 20 carbon atoms, including the carboxyl carbon atom, that is the 1 in number. So obviously 20 minus 1, it would make up about 19 carbon atom chains. So we have made it here CH3 CH2 whole 18. The 18 carbon atoms here and 18 plus 1, 19 carbon atoms, and here 1, it will make up the final 20 carbon atom chain fatty acid, which is the arachidonic acid. So you have written the structure, that is R2COH. We have considered this as a functional group. So this is the structure for the arachidonic acid. Likewise, fatty acids, they may be categorized into saturated fatty acids or unsaturated fatty acids. When there are no any double bonds, means when the carbon chain is saturated with single bonds, then the fatty acid is said to be a saturated fatty acid. For example, if we draw the structure CH3 CH2 again CH2 again CH2, like this, all the carbon atoms, they are saturated by single bonds, then the fatty acid is considered to be saturated fatty acids. We may write it the form in the short form like this: CH3 CH2 CH2 CH2, like that. Whereas when the fatty acid is having more than one or more than one carbon double bonds, then it would be considered as an unsaturated fatty acid. For example, we may write like this: CH3 CH2 CH double bond CH CH2 CH2, like that. So here in this case, we may observe that at this position the carbon atoms, they are bonded with the help of two or double bonds. Then this fatty acid would be considered under the category of unsaturated fatty acids. We may write this form as in the simpler form in this way: CH3 CH2, this one CH double bond CH for this one, then CH2 CH2, like that. Now we'll discuss about the another simple lipid, which is glycerol, which is C3H8O3. We may write like this: CH2OH CHOH CH2OH. So we may observe the structure of the glycerol, which is having 3 carbon atoms, 8 hydrogen atoms, and 3 oxygen atoms. So, and it is having, we can observe here 3 OH groups. So it is also called as trihydroxypropane. So this is the one more simple lipid, which is glycerol. So as there are many lipids which are having both glycerol also and fatty acids. So they are found to be, these fatty acids, they are found to be esterified with the glycerol. For example, let us draw a structure of glycerol: CH2OH CHOH CH2OH. This is the structure for glycerol, and if we add here 1 molecule of fatty acid, then by the condensation reaction and 1 molecule of water, it would be removed away. It will form the structure CH2 CH2. Here it would be O C double bond O R1. Here it would be OH, as it is OH. So for this example, we may consider as example of monoglyceride, because we have added only 1 molecule of fatty acid to the molecule of glycerol. So here do we get an monoglyceride. Just like if we add CH2OH CHOH CH2OH with 2 molecules. This is the molecule of glycerol, and we are adding here 2 molecules of fatty acid. Then by the removal of 2 molecules of water, means at this part 1 water molecule would be removed, and another, it would be removed by this part. So the structure, it would be CH2O C double bond O R1 CHO C double bond O R2, and CH2OH. So this is the structure of diglyceride. As we have added only 2 molecules of the fatty acid, so it would give up a diglyceride. Just like if we add CH2OH, CHOH, CH2OH with 3 molecules of fatty acid, HOOC R1, HOOC R2, HOOC R3. So in this case, 3 molecules would be the water, 3 molecules of water would be removed away, like this. And we will get the structure CH2 O C double bond O R1, CH O C double bond O R2, CH2 O C double bond O R3. So this is the example of triglyceride. And as the fatty acids they are combining, they may be either of the same type or maybe of the different types. So do we have written here R1, R2, R3. So whenever the glycerol is added through 3 molecules of fatty acids, we get the structure of, or we get triglyceride. So these monoglycerides or diglycerides or triglycerides, they may be fats or oils based upon the melting point. So as we may observe that by the combination of fatty acids and glycerols, fats and oils, they are derived. So oils and fats, they are basically having certain different properties. In the case of oils, they are having low melting points as compared to the fats. For example, the gingerly oil due to its low melting point, it is liquid in normal room temperature. Whereas in the case of fats, we may observe as due to having higher melting points, they gets converted into solid form in the months of winter season. So some of the lipids, they do have phosphorus also within them and phosphorylated organic compounds. So as we have observed the structure of the plasma membrane, there we have discussed that it is a bilipid layer. We may have gone through that. These are the polar head regions, which are the hydrophilic heads, whereas these are the tail regions, which are the hydrophobic tail regions. So these bilayer regions, they are containing the phospholipids, within which certain intrinsic proteins, extrinsic proteins, and transmembrane proteins, they are present within them. So this phosphorus containing lipids, they are present within our cell membrane, and the common example which is present in our body is lecithin, which is an phospholipid. We may write the structure CH2OC double bond O R1, CHOC double bond O R2. This is the same structure that do we write for the diglyceride, but here we are talking about the phospholipid. So here phosphorus should have to be included here. So in the third case, CH2O, and instead of this carbon chain, a phosphorus group would be there, and that would make up the structure for phospholipid. Here OH group, and at the terminal end nitrogen atom is there, and we have to saturate with the bonds CH3 CH3. So this is the structure of lecithin, which is an example of phospholipid. So here just do we have replaced it here, phosphorus atom, two carbon chains and a nitrogen terminal end, and having 3 methyl groups. So this is the structure for the lecithin, which is a phospholipid. Now we'll discuss about in brief about cholesterol. Cholesterol, it is present within the animal body, and it acts mainly as an membrane stabilizer. If we go for the structure, the cholesterol, it is having 4 rings, first ring, second ring, third ring, fourth ring. At this position OH group is there, alcoholic group is there, 1, 2 and 3 they are the hexagonal rings, and the fifth ring is having 5 carbon atoms, and it is now again forming a linear chain structure. So this is about the structure of the cholesterol, which is present within the animal body. Till so far here, thank you, have a nice day.